Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, April 2nd. We have all you need to know about changes to a local fundraiser, as well as more on a lawsuit being filed by Mount Nittany Health.
We also have details on Cory Booker's record-setting Senate speech, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Gianna Girol.
And I'm Nolan Collery. Mount Nittany Health filed an antitrust lawsuit on Thursday against Blue Cross Blue Shield insurers. The suit claims that Blue Cross Blue Shield and other affiliated insurance agencies have long colluded to restrict competition and underpay healthcare employees. Mount Nittany Health officials and attorneys say that the Blues are able to allocate geographic restraint on certain areas, such as parts of Center County, which allows them to set higher fixed costs with little to no competition from other providers. By allowing for more competition, market rates for health insurance would drop in the area and allow firms to decide if they would prefer to operate from outside the Blue Cross Blue Shield umbrella.
Center County United Way's Over the Edge fundraiser will move to downtown State College. For the past 2 years, community members were able to rappel down the side of Beaver Stadium. Due to the stadium's renovations, this year's event will take place at the Hyatt Place State College on July 29th. Participants who raise at least $1,000 for Center County United Way will be able to rappel 12 stories down the front of the hotel. Center County United Way works within the community to improve lives by investing in programs available to Center County residents.
Penn State University is set to launch its 2025 Sexual Misconduct Survey. This will be the 4th time Penn State has sent out the university-wide survey to students to assess student awareness, perception, and experiences with sexual misconduct. The survey's ultimate goal is to help prevent sexual misconduct, as well as to work and support all of those who have been negatively affected by it. The survey will be conducted by the Coalition to Address Relationship and Sexual Violence and will be rolled out at random to students during the first 3 weeks of April. If you or anyone you know is in need of resources surrounding sexual misconduct at Penn State, please visit title9.psu.edu.
Penn State Health Milton S. Hershey Medical Center has become the first Pennsylvania hospital and one of only 23 in the nation to offer a new Parkinson's treatment. The Brain Sense Adaptive Deep Brain Stimulation, or ADBS, is the first deep brain stimulation system that continuously monitors a patient's brain activity and automatically adjusts stimulation. This technology allows for more individualized treatment and has enhanced therapy plans. For Parkinson's patients, this stimulation may improve symptom control and reduce side effects. What kind of weather can students expect outside this week? Student meteorologist Matthew Howard is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Matthew?
Thank you, Gianna. We've seen some rain and we've actually seen some thunderstorms across some parts of the region today. But things have finally come and dried out, but we are left with some cloud cover as we go over State College right now. Currently, temperatures are just a little bit below average for this time of year. We're sitting in the mid-40s. But really what you're noticing right here is that wind coming out of the south at 10 miles per hour. So feeling just a little bit breezy at times today. So we are actually, tomorrow we're going to see a change. We're actually going to see temperatures about 20 to 25 degrees above average for this time of year. But really what is important to note is this weekend is going to remain quite unsettled. And we're going to see some steady rain possible at times, maybe even an inch or two of rain. We will actually see out ahead of that rain, out ahead of this cold front later this weekend, we're going to see a pattern change, and we're actually going to see well below average temperatures for a short period of time. Taking temperatures across the region right now, you can see widespread 40s, but really what's noticeable right here is that 63 degrees in Pittsburgh, so it is feeling quite warm for some parts of the region, while a little bit chillier for others. And we're seeing across a lot of the country right now, we're actually seeing a little bit of a warmer sector creeping in. It's actually helping to fuel a severe weather threat across some parts of the deep south right now. And taking it into our wind speeds, we're actually seeing some pretty windy conditions, especially a little bit west of us, from 10 to 25 mile per hour winds. So it's actually feeling quite windy at times this evening. As you can see here, we actually did see a little bit just behind me some rain and some thunderstorms earlier, but those have moved out of the region, just left with a few showers left over. And as we zoom out of the region, you can see that low pressure system. We're actually seeing that cold front draping through, bringing that severe weather threat, but really seeing that warm front right here, and that's actually what brought in some of that rain and thunderstorms just earlier. Taking it into our future cast, we do have mainly dry conditions tonight. We're going to be seeing a few showers though, and maybe even a few rumble to thunder as we get into tomorrow morning. Will be the case with some on and off precipitation tomorrow, but really seeing those temperatures rise up a whole lot, feeling like in the 70s instead of the 40s and 50s like we did today. We're actually going to see more of this rainy regime as we get towards tomorrow night. We're going to see some showers possible, and once again, just some steady rain at times, but really seeing a lot of Friday though. We're going to be more on that drier side. We're going to see more rainy conditions though as we get towards Saturday. We're going to see some more unsettled weather. It's going to still be a bit warm, but we're still going to see that unsettled weather before that cold front really moves through the region, dropping our temperatures and actually shifting our winds out of the northwest instead of out of the south. So maybe even a few flurries possible as we get towards maybe even the beginning of next week, but not really producing a lot of impacts at all. As we get to that 6 to 10 day outlook, really seeing that widespread below average temperatures across the region. So it will feel quite a bit cold, but hopefully not lasting for a long period of time. For tonight, a little bit above average for this time of year, actually quite above average, with lows in the mid 40s, with a chance of rain showers, especially later on overnight out ahead of that front. And even tomorrow, we're going to see those highs in the low to mid 70s, so we'll feel quite warm, but it will be still a little bit breezy at times as well. And taking it into the 7-day forecast, we're actually seeing that warm up tomorrow, but we're going to see a little bit above average and even near average temperatures as we get towards that weekend. We're going to see highs in the 60s, so feeling more like April. Some showers and thunderstorms possible on Saturday before we actually will see some steadier rain working into the region for the entire weekend, basically. And as we get towards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll be cooling down, but Tuesday will be the coolest day of the week with even a few snow showers possible. Gianna, Nolan, back to you.
Thanks, Matthew. March 20th marked the 6th anniversary of Osaze Osagi's passing. Joy Donald is live in the studio now with details on an annual memorial. Joy?
Thanks, Gianna. Last week, I had the chance to visit the Osaze Osagi Memorial Lecture with guest speaker Kevin Richardson. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Joy Donald, and today I'm at the Hub Robeson Center for the Osaze Osagi Memorial Lecture with guest speaker Kevin Richardson, who is a member of the Central Park Five. He is here to talk on his experiences and battles with mental health following the tragic event. Let's check it out.
It was really informative. I thought that he has so much to say, obviously because of his experiences and all, but I thought it was great, and he gave me so much perspective about his struggles and just how hard it is for him to find resources to talk to.
Kevin is awesome. We had a lunch and learn earlier in the day. The African Studies program in the Paul Robeson Cultural Center did a lunch and learn which featured Kevin kind of having a pretty lax conversation with about 75 students. And it was really cool to see the interaction between Kevin and then the students, and he just really seemed like he connected well with the students that he was talking to, and the questions were so good. So yeah, it was a good time.
The Osaze Osagi Memorial Lecture featured member of the Central Park Five, Kevin Richardson. The event has been held every year for the past 6 years in remembrance of Osaze Osagi, who was a Penn State student who was killed by local police during a mental health event. The series targets Black mental health, and speakers talk on their experiences in life and how it has affected their mental health. Richardson held a Q&A after speaking on his experiences, and attendants had the opportunity to ask him questions about his incarceration and his experiences as a young man who was wrongfully convicted.
The memorial lecture takes place every year with notable Black activists and speakers and continues to bring awareness to Black culture and representation for mental health at Penn State. Now over to Sophia with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Joy. I'm Sophia Monteforte with your sports update. Penn State softball and baseball teams swept Bucknell last night with 2 monster scoring games. Softball shut out Bucknell 8-0 in just 5 innings, while baseball claimed their run rule victory with a 14-3 win over Bucknell. Thanks to the combined pitching efforts of Maddie Volpe and Abigail Britton, the senior freshman duo gave up just 4 hits and booked a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Birthday girl Michaela Barbonente led the hitting with a pair of doubles, finishing 2 for 3. On the flip side, Bryce Molinaro launched 2 homers and 10 different Nittany Lions reached base. On Dollar Dog Night, baseball set the tone with a strong 6-run inning in the first, and Bucknell just could not keep up. Penn State, one of the 4 sites for the 2025 NCAA Gymnastics Regionals, began their sessions earlier today at Rec Hall. Session 1 saw Maryland take down WVU for the first play-in round. Session 2, its regional semifinals, begin tomorrow at 1 p.m., where Penn State will take on Ohio State, Michigan State, and Kentucky. Session 3 will see LSU, Arkansas, Michigan, and Maryland try to claim the other regional semifinal on Friday at 7 p.m. The final session will take place on Saturday, April 5th at 5 p.m., with the top 2 teams from each semifinal competing for the regional championship. As we approach Final Four weekend, many women's basketball players have decided to enter the transfer portal. There have been a surprising number of tournament teams losing talent already. These teams include Samaya Smith leaving LSU, Kara Dunn leaving Georgia Tech, and Kate Colville and Emma Risch leaving Notre Dame. Arizona lost 7 players to the transfer portal, most notably Jada Williams, who has already committed to Iowa State Cyclones. But the most surprising decision goes to Colville's teammate Olivia Miles. Miles announced earlier this week that she will forego the WNBA draft, where she was likely to be picked number 2 overall, to enter the portal, despite saying that she has outgrown college a little bit. The NFL has made quite some changes recently. Yesterday, the NFL owners approved a proposal by the competition committee to incorporate a player, coach, and team statistic from All-American Football Conference into the NFL. The NFL has also agreed to some in-game rule changes, including having both teams possess the football in a 10-minute regular season overtime, and kickoff touchbacks being placed at the 35-yard line. The NFL has decided to expand replay assist to review penalties and pick up flags. And measuring first downs will now be handled by a camera rather than chain gangs. The chain crew will stay on the sidelines, but in a secondary capacity. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Jaden Vogel has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jaden Vogel with your entertainment update. With spring in full swing, Downtown State College is buzzing with energy, and that means First Fridays are back. Friday, April 4th kicks off a night filled with live music, local art, and after-hour access to shops and galleries. Grab some free bites, sip on something sweet, and take advantage of special deals from restaurants and retailers. First Fridays are hosted by the Downtown Improvement District and run through December. Glorilla is coming to the Bryce Jordan Center tomorrow, April 3rd. Known for her hit FNF and collabs with Cardi B, Glorilla won Best New Hip Hop Artist at the 2022 BET Hip Hop Awards. Her album Glorious is still topping the charts, and she's bringing all the energy to State College. Tickets sold fast with free lower bowl seats for students and general admission floor tickets going quickly for just $15. Before attending Glorilla, you could grab a bite to eat at a new downtown restaurant. Lily McAfee is live in the studio with more details. Lily?
Thanks, Jaden. Last week, I had the chance to have a sneak peek at the new Buffalo Wild Wings opening downtown. This new restaurant has caused quite the stir among State College residents. Let's take a look. Since 2006, Buffalo Wild Wings has planned to open a location in downtown State College. On Tuesday, March 25th, that 18-year-long idea became reality.
Hi, my name's Lily McAfee, and today we're outside the brand new Buffalo Wild Wings at downtown State College. If you are in the State College area, you've definitely heard a lot of the buzz about the new Buffalo Wild Wings. It's the talk of the town, isn't it?
Students, locals, and families alike have all gathered to indulge in the 26 flavors of wings and multiple other bar food options this establishment has to offer. With televisions covering the walls from head to toe, this will definitely be seen as a go-to spot to watch our beloved Nittany Lions play on their away games with your family and friends.
Yes, we're just very excited to bring B-Dubs to State College. It's been long overdue. We brought in the best of the best AV. We got the second largest TV in B-Dubs history. Only Vegas beats us. And plus I got to meet a lot of you guys and this great community.
After its first week, B-Dubs, as some staff refer to it as, has truly been electric. With sparkling spotlights and the We Are chant playing from the speakers, this place is a true Penn Stater's dream. During the opening week, there have been waits surpassing 2 hours. The opening is perfect timing for all basketball lovers as we are approaching the Final Four games for March Madness. Sports and good foods fans should definitely see this place for themselves.
There's plenty of good places to eat downtown, and it's so exciting to have a new spot focused on something many of us enjoy, sports and wings. Make sure to check out this new sports restaurant under the Maxon. Now back to you, Jaden.
Thanks, Lily. In national news, legendary actor Val Kilmer has passed away at the age of 65 in Los Angeles on April 1st. He's best known for his iconic roles in Top Gun, Batman Forever, and The Doors. His career spanned decades, earning him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most versatile and charismatic stars. In recent years, Kilmer battled throat cancer, which impacted his voice but never his spirit. The legendary Liza Minnelli is making an appearance on RuPaul's Drag Race, and she'll be honored with the Giving Us Lifetime Achievement Award during the season 17 grand finale. Minnelli, an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award winner, has been a pioneer for the LGBTQ plus community, and her legacy will be celebrated in a historic moment on the main stage. The final episode of Drag Race airs on April 18th, and fans can expect a tribute to the iconic performer. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Annalise Hansen will be speaking with Izzy Perano, a Penn State student DJ. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Annalise Hansen, and with me tonight is Izzy Priano, a student DJ. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Izzy.
Yeah, of course.
So, how did you get into DJing, and what inspired you to pursue it seriously?
So, it started when I just fell in love with house music, and I bought a little tiny DJ board, and I taught myself the basics, and then when I went abroad, that kind of inspired me to get more into it. I carried my DJ board with me on the plane to every single country we went to, and then every time we would go out, I would hold up my phone and I'd write on it, "I DJ too, can I come play with you?" And they would let me up on the stage, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, just being able to make the crowd feel a certain type of way. And then eventually I started renting out a studio, and I would go every single day to practice. And I got my own set, and I was able to play at 2 of the biggest clubs in the world.
Awesome. So what was your first gig like, and how has your style or approach evolved since then?
My first gig was when I was actually in Spain. So from the times I held up my phone to get people to let me play with them, I reached out to a person, and I told them I had experience playing in all these different countries. And then they were like, okay, like you can play at this club. It was called Sutton. And basically, I had never had my own set before. I didn't even know how to download music. So after I practiced every single day at this studio, I finally was confident enough to play. And yeah, I got to have my own first set, and that was amazing. It was so cool, and it went really, really well. I had prepared really hard for it.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your study abroad experience. Did it influence your music or your perspective as a DJ?
Yes, it definitely influenced my perspective. It was just really cool getting to travel, because obviously that's something I'm passionate about since I did go abroad. But seeing how music is different from Australia to Spain and then even the US, that was really cool. And we even went to Ibiza, and I got to DJ on a boat, which was amazing. And it really just made me fall in love with it even more, because I realized how many opportunities were out there.
Awesome. So what was your favorite venue or club that you've played so far and why?
My favorite venue would either be Opium, because that's one of the biggest clubs in the world, or Sutton, which is where my first set was. I was in the basement, that's where my set was, and then there was like a tiny bar, and I ended up selling out the bar the most drinks that they've had the last 4 months, I think they said. And my promoter came down, he greeted me, and he's like, "You're playing at Opium tomorrow." And that was actually the best feeling in the entire world, because I just felt so much success and just happiness.
Incredible. Do you see DJing as part of your future after graduation? And if so, what are your post-grad plans related to music?
Yeah, so I'm planning on applying to PA school because I'm in the medical field, but I'm taking a gap year, so I'll be able to DJ and travel all summer and then into next year as well. So I guess I'll just see where it goes. Hopefully somewhere big, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my plan for now.
What has your experience been like as a woman in a field that's still largely male-dominated?
I feel that I'm often overlooked. People will be like, "Oh, you're a girl, like you can't DJ, you don't know what to play, you don't know how to set up your equipment." But oftentimes I'll go and I'll have a better set or more energy behind the decks than any other man would.
Awesome. What was your most memorable DJing moment?
I would say it was the time at Sutton that I was telling you about when he greeted me and said I was playing at Opium the next day.
How do you decide what songs to use in a set, and does it differ depending on the venue?
Yes, it definitely differs. For bar scene, I try to do more open format, so country music, pop, top 40s, and a little bit of house. But clubs, it's definitely mainly house and like dance music focused.
What advice would you give to other students who are interested in learning to DJ or getting into music production?
I would say just start. Don't be afraid to ask and put yourself out there. That was probably the biggest thing that I learned from it. I also learned that YouTube can teach you a lot. So buy a DJ board and just go for it.
Izzy, thank you so much for coming in tonight and telling us more about your experience as a DJ. Now stick around, because coming up next, Nolan and Gianna will have the latest news from across the nation.
Evacuation orders are still in place as spring winds are causing a wildfire in California to become much more dangerous than expected. Now being called the Silver Fire, the blaze started up on Sunday afternoon in Inyo County, near the California-Nevada border. The fire churned through 2.5 miles of brush and grass with ease, as the region has faced a severe drought in the past few weeks. However, the real danger comes from the potential 65-mile-per-hour gusts of wind to the region, which have limited rescue and water-dropping helicopters and completely grounded larger air tankers. As of this afternoon, the fire is now 70% contained.
A weekend storm that swept the Greater Lakes region has killed 3 children in Michigan and an 84-year-old man in Indiana. In Michigan, a tree fell on top of the family's van, killing the 3 children under 12 years old and injuring 3 others. In Indiana, at around the same time, 84-year-old Lonnie Yoder was killed after his Amish buggy was flipped from the severe wind. Freezing rain and extreme winds cut power for thousands in the region over the weekend. With thousands of trees still down, police have urged residents to stay off the roads.
The FBI is sending a surplus of personnel to 10 different states over the next 6 months in an effort to help with investigation of unsolved violent crimes in Native American communities. The FBI will be working directly with the Bureau of Indian Affairs Missing and Murdered Unit, as well as tribal authorities and federal prosecutors. Federal authorities say the FBI's Indian Country program had 4,300 open investigations at the beginning of this fiscal year. That included more than 900 death investigations, 1,000 child abuse investigations, and more than 500 domestic violence and adult sexual abuse cases.
New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker took the Senate floor Monday night and held it until Tuesday evening. Booker held the floor to show the Democrats' resistance to President Donald Trump's sweeping actions. Booker set the record for the longest continuous Senate speech, standing for 25 hours and 5 minutes. He broke the 68-year-old record set by segregationist Senator Strom Thurmond, who stood to delay the Civil Rights Act in 1957. Booker warned of a looming constitutional crisis and hoped to show frustrated supporters that they are doing everything possible to contest Trump's agenda. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.